Good morning, students. I take special pleasure in talking to you. Hope you are fine and taking precautions in view of COVID-19 pandemic. This too will pass. हम होंगे कामयाब. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः. I'll begin my talk on Jacques Derrida with a recapitulation of what I said in my earlier lecture for better understanding of this subject. We discussed in detail Saussure's essay entitled Nature of the Linguistic Sign and learned his theory and principles of language. Just to remind you the key facts of Saussure's essay. For Saussure, a language is a system of signs and the linguistic sign is arbitrary. This means two things. First, the sign, for example, a word, is a combination of a form and a meaning, or to use the technical term, signifier and signified. The second thing is, the relation between form and meaning is based on convention, not on natural resemblance. Let me give you an example. What I am sitting on is called kursi in Hindi. It's a convention of Hindi. In other languages, it would have quite different names, such as chair in English or narkhali in Tamil. After this, we discussed Saussure's second principle, that is, linear character of the signal. We also took into consideration Indian perspectives on Saussure's principles of language in the light of Panini and Bhartrihari's views on language. Try to recall those points and reflect on those issues. At the end of the class, and out of curiosity, one of the students asked me a general but a pertinent question that remained unanswered in the class because of my next class with other students. His question was, these days we talk much about theory. So what is theory? Alright, let me answer this question of theory that would be useful in the context of Derridean deconstruction. Broadly speaking, my answer to this question of theory is based on my reading of the books by Jonathan Culler, Peter Barry, and some reference books. Friends, theory has fundamentally transformed the nature and direction of literary studies. You may ask, what kind of radical transformations? What I mean to say here is, theory in literary studies is not an account of the whatness of literature or methods for its study, but it is a body of thinking whose boundaries are not easy to define. The genre of theory includes works of art, history, anthropology, linguistics, philosophy, political theory, psychology, film studies, gender studies, and science studies. So, in simple terms, theory is a cluster of mostly foreign names. It means Jacques Derrida, Michel Foucault, Jacques Lacan, Judith Butler, Louis Althusser, Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak, for example. Another question to understand here is, how does theory affect? The main effect of theory, says Jonathan Culler, is the disputing of common sense, that is, common sense views about meaning, writing, literature, experience, and reality. As a critique of common sense, theory involves a questioning of the most basic premises or assumptions of literary study that might have been taken for granted. As an example of some theory, you can think of Foucault's account of sex in his book The History of Sexuality, or Derrida's analysis of a discussion of writing and experience in Rousseau's Confessions. Both examples of theory illustrate that theory involves speculative practice, and this speculative practice refers to the accounts of desire, language, and so on that challenge received ideas. In this way, they prompt you to rethink the categories, undo the premises, and reflect on one's reading in new ways. Thus, broadly speaking, four major points have come up to understand the aspects of theory. 1. Theory is interdisciplinary. 2. Theory is analytical and speculative. 3. Theory is a critique of common sense. And 4. Theory is reflexive, which means thinking about thinking. Having said that, I want you to ponder two issues. Number 1, is theory today endless? And number 2, as a result, is theory hair-raising and overwhelming? These are open-ended questions. Think and respond to me. Now, I shall talk about one of the most influential post-structuralist theorists, Jacques Derrida, whose name has become virtually synonymous with the word deconstruction. I am aware of the fact that it is not possible to fit Derrida into a frame, be it thematic frame or methodological frame or analytical frame. So let me give you a little bit of background. Originally named Jacques by his mother, Jacques Derrida was born in the suburbs of Algiers in 1930 and passed away in Paris in 2004. Born into a Jewish family without rights to French citizenship, Derrida was doubly discriminated against. He went to the mainland France as a 19-year-old student. He studied and taught there, and later dividing his time between France and the United States. Derrida was a voracious reader, reading at the time philosophers such as Rousseau, Nietzsche, and Husserl. In France, Derrida tends to be seen more as a philosopher working in the tradition of Nietzsche and Heidegger. Derrida first came to the notice of the English-speaking academic world in 1966, following a paper entitled Structure, Sign and Play in the Discourse of the Human Sciences, presented at the colloquium at Johns Hopkins University. This paper of Derrida, says David Lodge, belongs to a historic moment in the traffic of ideas between Europe and America. I'll discuss this essay separately. The following year, that is 1967, Derrida published 3 books subsequently, translated as Of Grammatology, Speech and Phenomenon, and Writing and Difference. These were followed in 1972 by 3 more in French, translated as Dissemination, Margins of Philosophy, and Positions. These impressive publications secured Derrida's influence. This influence has subsequently spread beyond the study of literature and literary theory. Significantly enough, the effect of Derrida's ideas became much influential not only in the humanities and social sciences, but also in cultural studies, in film studies, in legal theory, and in theory of architecture. This much is in this audio. The second part of my audio contains a discussion of Derridian deconstruction. See you again. All the best.